Hey, so today we are going to get into why your makeup isn't working. And more importantly, we are talking about the issue that knowing how to do your makeup right isn't enough. So here's what's really going on. When you are trying a new recipe and you get all of the ingredients that you need, you get out all of your like your measuring cups, your bowls, your rubber spatula, right? You get all the stuff and you follow a recipe like step by step. Let's say you're making cookies. And then when the cookies come out of the oven and they cool a sufficient amount of time and you go to taste test one, it tastes horrible. And you're like, oh, no, I've done something wrong. But you're not sure what went wrong. So what do? Well, if you're like most of us, you go back over the recipe, right? You scan it to try to find the piece of information or the particular step where you screwed up. And a lot of times you can't find it. You're like, no, I did the things, right? I did everything right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I followed everything. So if you're persistent, most of us are kind of persistent, especially when it comes to cookies or like anything that we really want, right? We have a positive attitude. We're like, that's okay. Roll up our sleeves. We can try this again, right? You try it again and it still goes wrong. And you're like, okay, seriously, what is going on here? And it's super frustrating because what would be really amazing is if perhaps there happened to be like a pastry chef who was there and could tell you as you were following the recipe for now the third time, grabbing the salt and getting ready to measure it, if they could just literally go, oh, hold on, that's a tablespoon. You need a teaspoon. And for you to go, oh, and then put the tablespoon down and pick up the teaspoon and measure the correct amount of salt and then pour it in. And then at the end of the process, end up with super delicious cookies. There are so many things about this analogy that are real about makeup. And here's what's so tricky about it. When something about your makeup isn't working, you can't self-diagnose. Most of us have no idea what's going wrong, especially if your teen is trying something new with their makeup and maybe they're trying something you don't even know how to do. You can't help them, but you're going to try, right? Like you're committed. You're like, okay, yep, we can do hard things. And what do you tell them? You're like, yeah, just keep on going, babe. You'll get it eventually. It takes practice. We spoke to Keela yesterday and like she said, it takes practice. That's all you need. You just need practice. You'll be fine. Yeah. But you know what? There's a real difference between like knowing what you're doing right and not knowing what you're doing wrong. When you don't know what you're doing wrong, it's so much work, right? Because you have to become a detective and search through all of the techniques that you've been using, all the things you've been trying to figure out and pinpoint what is that particular thing that I need to change. And so it's a science experiment that never, ever ends. And eventually, most times pretty soon, you quit because what's the point? It's too hard. You're not going to be able to figure it out. This is silly. Like, let me just walk away and save myself. I've seen this happen time and time again with makeup. I've seen it happen time and time again with kids. When I used to teach fourth grade, there was this really amazing thing that would happen, especially with math, where my students would be working on a particular problem and I'm kind of walking around checking in on them, and they would be maybe having like the same issue on like problem after problem after problem. And I would be able to look over their shoulder and go, hey, double check this. Have you added when you're supposed to be subtracting? And then suddenly they're like, oh, and then they could fix it. Boom, just like that, and keep on moving with success and confidence and answers and certainty that it's going to go well moving forward. That's exactly what happens when you have a guide, a mentor, an expert, somebody who's more knowledgeable to help identify and pinpoint what's going wrong and give you the switch, right? Give you the adjustment in the moment so that you can get back to it going right. That's exactly what happens in the Academy. So the Academy is our makeup school that is exclusively for teens. It is the opportunity for them to learn makeup in a way that is expanding their minds, blowing their minds about what's possible with makeup. And more importantly, like building that self-confidence and feeling really, really good about being in a community where we really focus on compliments over comparison. It's about expressing yourself and really falling in love with the process of makeup, what's possible with makeup, and like being really true to yourself. So if you're listening to this right now and you're like, yeah, I definitely don't know how to diagnose when something's going wrong with my makeup. And I know there are things wrong, but I don't know how to fix it. Or you're like, yeah, I've been seeing my teen put together some makeup looks and like, I don't want to knock their confidence. So I don't say anything, but I know what they're doing. Something's gone awry. I can't tell you what it is. I just know that it doesn't look as great as it could look, but I don't even know how to say that part. So I just keep my mouth shut. The Academy is probably for them. And it's really kind of for everybody, right? Like it makes everything better. It makes everybody feel better. So you're going to want to get on the wait list to know exactly when the doors open up. It's coming soon. You're going to go to bit.ly/the Academy waitlist. I'm going to have the link in the description box on YouTube, and the link is here on Instagram. So you will be able to find it, hop on the waitlist so that you get notified. It is not a commitment to join the Academy. It's just your way of saying, hey, yeah, tell me what's happening as it's happening so I'm in the know. I will be back with more makeup tips, secrets, insights, and I will talk to you and see you super soon. And as always, stay fabulous. Bye, y'all.